Alright, this has been a video that I've been wanting to do for a while. Alright, this is going to be what if Goku landed in the Naruto universe, in the Naruto verse, right? Version 1. Alright, I call it version 1 because I feel like I plan on doing multiple scenarios, like what if he's raised by Tsunade, etc. But this is my first edition, and let me know what you guys think of the story and all that, and if you enjoy it, like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of that stuff, alright? With that, let's get on to it. So, the Saiyan baby Kakarot is landing in the realm of Naruto. You know, at this time, the Akatsuki is being formed, you know. Obviously, they're younger, you know, but this will come to effect later. You know, on their way to doing various missions, Konan sees a ship heading towards the forest, you know. A ship who we know is the Saiyan baby Kakarot. But anyway, it ends up landing, forms a crater into the wilderness, you know. Konan going to inspect while on alert, not knowing what had just happened, you know. Not knowing what could happen, so she's alert, has her chakra rays ready for battle. You know, upon further inspection, she sees that it's a child, you know, a baby boy inside of this crater, inside of this object, you know, which is a spaceship, but she wouldn't know, you know. So through further investigation, looking inside of it, she remembers the times where she used to imagine she had of herself having a normal life and raising a child, you know, which allows her to do what she does next, which is take the boy with her, you know. She ends up taking the boy with her, and she ends up naming him Goku, you know. It just makes it easier, so he'll be Goku. Alright. Seeing that the boy had no clothes, she even takes off her Akatsuki robe and places it on the towel, you know. So now the baby is wearing, you know, some clothes, you know. So Konan takes the child with her. Alright. Now as this child grows up, you know, and by the way, she never really tells the other Akatsuki about it, except for maybe Nagato, maybe, you know. But and the Akatsuki's still being formed at this time also. But as the boy grows older, you know, or growing up, the kid is entertained by all the different paper tricks and artworks that Konan can do. So he's very amused, you know, growing up, you know. Konan watches this boy grow up, you know, to about around here, you know, and sees where he'll eventually be a strong young man, you know. But he's about right here where she's watching him grow up, you know. She can't help but have a little smile, and she doesn't smile much. You know, throughout this time, since she is still, remember, a member of the Akatsuki, she travels all throughout different parts of the ninja world, right? Taking Goku along with them, you know, with a bag. So they go everywhere, you know. And at this particular time, they ended up, you know, in the Mist Village, you know. So let's keep going. You know, as Goku gets older, he develops an interest for battle, and always battles petty thugs and criminals and stuff like that. So Goku would begin getting into skirmishes with thugs and things like that, you know. And he would win. And among this time, Konan would understand this boy has a feel for battle, all right, and he's very skilled in combat, even though he showed no abilities in chakra, you know. But at the same time, Goku's feats would begin to have these criminals hire even stronger criminals, and they would end up putting a price on Goku's head, you know. You know, the monkey boy, you know, people would get word of this. So Goku, being strong but not strong enough, would have to fight against rogue ninja that accept the contract of the price that is on his head, you know. And that is when Konan gets involved. You know, back to where Goku was fighting, Goku would always just, you know, defeat them and then let them go, you know, run away. But Konan, on the other hand, Konan was, you know, finishing the job. She was unaliving these people that would dare attack her adopted son. You know, Goku, seeing this, is shocked, you know. And he would begin to yell at Konan for her disregard for, you know, the lives of others, saying that they were already defeated. They were already defeated. She had no need in destroying them or in killing them, you know. But Konan disagreeing, letting him know that this is the reality of the world that they live in, you know, which is actually true, because, you know, the ninja world, it's a lot of death and destruction. But Goku disagreeing, you know, and they get into a little argument. Goku says that she's going about it the wrong way. She should only do this thing when it's absolutely necessary, and not to people that are already defeated. You know, Konan looking at him disappointed, knowing that he doesn't really know the true world that they live in. You know, having gone through what she's been through. You know, and y'all know what she's been through. You know, the death of Yahiko and so forth. So knowing this, she sees that he has no idea what's going on. At this exact same time, it begins to rain. You know, and they're being drenched, and she's reminded where she was from, the Rain Village. And Goku's still looking at her, you know, in rejection. Not really rejection, but disappointment in her actions. And she kind of ignores and sees that throughout all this rain, the moon is still out. You know, Goku, seeing that she's still looking at the moon, looks himself, and then he freezes. You know, freezes by he's looking at the moon, just staring at it like a deer in headlights. All right. Konan, seeing that he's looking at the moon and not moving, believes she's in a genjutsu, so she throws up the sign and says release, thinking that it'll release the genjutsu. Then she realizes that Goku is beginning to change. You know, seeing this, she sees the eyes. She begins to wonder, is this one of these tailed beasts? Is he a tailed beast or some type of demon? You know, and this is what we know as the Great Ape. So seeing Goku transform into a Great Ape, she's prepared for battle. You know, knowing what's about to begin. You know, Goku launches a mouth blast and destroys, you know, a big hill. You know, and she's seeing this, knowing, kind of apprehensive, knowing that's about to happen. You know, but she prepares for battle. You know, and understands that she has to fight in this fight. You know, in this battle. So she begins to launch paper bombs at the ape, you know, trying to snack some sense into Goku. Maybe he'll understand, you know. But all of her attacks are really futile, you know, because they're not full attacks. You know, she doesn't want to hurt Goku. This is her adopted son, after all. You know, but seeing that these do nothing but annoy the ape, she begins to, you know, launch even stronger explosives. You know, looking down on him as he's just brushing everything off, you know. So she ends up using all of her wings and all the paper she has in reserve to wrap around the Ozaru, which launches a giant explosion, you know, rocking the foundations. Luckily, they're in the middle of the nowhere in this mist village. In the mist land, but and this large explosion happens, you know. And this time the ape is finished, you know, passing out. It did a lot of damage, you know. As he's shrinking down, the remainder of the paper just rains down like the rain that was falling before it. And she just gazes down at the boy going unconscious, you know. Seeing that her adopted son is on the brink of death by her own hand, she has a mental break, like, a type of break within her, because it's a very traumatizing moment, even though she had seen war beforehand. Gazing up at the moon, she wonders why all of this happened, and also realizes that the moon was probably the source of her adopted son Goku's transformation. Once again, obviously, and this Goku really doesn't have clothes on. He's right back to naked where he originally had found her. But this, she breaks down into tears, which no one really ever sees because she never showed her emotions like this. But she feels very vulnerable. Breaks down in tears, takes off her cloak, wraps it around Goku, like she had done when she had first found him. She kind of breaks down, in the rain, kind of shielding her body with her, kind of shielding his body with her own body while having the cloak wrapped around. As the rain dies down, the rain starts to die down. Konan looks down upon him and realizes that now that he has these abilities, he can't come with her because people will see him as a weapon, and the Akatsuki will probably try to use him as a weapon, So she doesn't even want to tell anyone about what had just transpired. So, knowing that she's about to leave him off somewhere where she cannot follow, she makes a rose flower that she has on her head, but she makes it for Goku. And she places it on him and carries him to a hospital in the Mist Village. Alright? Then she leaves to go back, to where she was originally, into the Akatsuki, leaving her adopted son behind, But before she leaves, she tells the caretakers to make sure that Goku never looks at the moon again, and also tells them that once he awakes, to tell Goku to never look at a full moon, so this never happens again. So as Goku is recovering in his injuries, obviously from being into the battle that he was with Konan, that he doesn't know about, he wonders where she's gone off to. And the doctors tell him that they have no idea, and this and that. So inevitably they end up throwing him into an orphanage, since he is still a child, So Goku is raised in this orphanage, as he's growing up a little bit. He waits about a year, thinking that one day Conan's going to come back, but she never does, So he's raised in this orphanage, and she never comes back. So Goku actually runs away from the orphanage, vowing to find Konan, one day. So he takes off running, he sprints into a random direction, asking people as he goes through the Mist Village, asking people where, if they've seen this woman, with zero results, zero people saying they've seen her and all that. Likely because either she was hidden or she would tell people that they never saw her, She is very intimidating. Anyway, as he's running, the days grow short, and he actually runs into a ninja, as you are all familiar with as Zabuza. Alright. Zabuza tells this kid, Goku tells him the dilemma, and Zabuza, being Zabuza, tells this kid that he's a fool, and he's not strong enough to handle what's out there in this world, because it's the ninja, it's the shinobi world, And Goku still has a price on his head in the Mist Village, But Zabuza has heard of this kid and sees potential in him, so he takes him under his wing, alright? Similar to how he does Haku, So Goku ends up becoming a shinobi in training under Zabuza, who is really only using him as a weapon, but doesn't tell Goku, And Goku agrees because Goku always wants to get stronger anyway, and he needs to be strong in order to face what's in the shinobi world, in order to find Konan. Alright? Now, Goku ends up going on his own or Goku, being rebellious and stuff, he often runs away, not really runs away, but ventures off by himself, Well, Zabuza goes to do his work and contracts and whatever else Zabuza had to do, because he was a ninja that took contracts. Really a rogue ninja, but in one of his voyages, Goku runs into a boy, that looks depressed, sitting in the snow, worse for the wear. Goku ends up asking the boy of his name, and that's when you learn that the boy's name is Haku. they kind of chop it up, you know. Looking down, and Goku says, "You don't have." And Goku says, "Why are you there?" And she says, "I don't." And he says, "I don't know. You know, I don't really have anywhere to go." And Goku says, "Well, you can come with me." You know, which in the original canon, you know, we all know that Zabuza finds Haku, but in this, it's Goku that actually finds Haku. You know, and Goku says, "You don't have to be alone anymore, and you can follow me." You know, and then they grab hands. Goku pulls up Haku. And they make their way over, and shortly after, Zabuza appears and sees what has happened. You know, and then the classic, you know, thing transpires between Zabuza and Haku. Zabuza sees the potential in Haku and takes some other wings. So now it's Zabuza, Goku, and Haku that are a trio instead of a duo. Alright? And that's where we're going to end off on this one. You know, I hope you guys like this. You can drop some ideas on where you think the story is going to go, where you would like to see it go. And yeah, you know, this would be part 1 of what if Goku landed in the Naruto world, you know. And with that, I say peace. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, you know, if you like the story. And also tell me what I can improve if you didn't like the story. All right? Peace.